y'all know how I do. Y'all know how I do. I'm on that bullshit again.
Let me tell y'all a little story about me. In the boxing world, my name is Mr. IOTBA. The acronyms for IOTBA is
Mr. Undeniable. Hold up. Mr. These boys can't touch me.
Daisy if you do. Bet I ain't got shit to prove. Boo does gold tooth, Lil Bruce, smile sharp enough to choose. Bang, bang, right through your cool. Walking like a rumor with a pose. Lip curl sweeter than your cold. My eyes say try me and you freeze like salt. Got your huggle. You wanted that smoke, I'm the whole damn stack. Got your huggle. Step up, I'll clear the room. You're a daisy if you do. You're a daisy if you do.
R-U-L.
All aces in my hand, better back. Tongue sharp like a tag, hit a click, clack. You wanted that heat, now it's time to meet the sun. No shade, just black. Walk slow, silver in my lap. Halo, crooked heart attack. Say a piece, talk that trash. I turn every word to glass. Cut deep.
Oh shit, it should go down to that. I'm touching down from that 2, 1, 4, and I'm on that bullshit again. I'm on that bullshit today, right? Y'all know how I do. Y'all know how I do. I was scrolling up my articles, and what do I see? So see, y'all know how I do.
The wind hums low, a hollow refrain through cracked window panes. It calls my name. The clock ticks slow. Its echo stays. Each moment drags, then slips away. Blue curtains are hiding all my pain. Blue curtains are dancing in the rain. Blue curtains keep the shine far away. Blue curtains won't let me escape. The walls close in, shadows stretch along. Night wears a mask where dreams don't belong. A bird once sang, now silent it lies. The sky holds no stars, just clouded sighs. The pain's a prison, the glass cuts deep. Eyes wide open, yet I can't sleep. Blue curtains are hiding all my pain. Blue curtains are dancing in the rain. close tighter, leaving no space.
I'm the champion, feel the rush, the crowd goes wild.
Obviously, obviously, yeah, obviously. Obviously, yeah, obviously. Tell them, obviously. I know these niggas don't want me to win, but I'm sorry, G. I know they thought I wouldn't come back and pose on them hoes, but nigga, it's time to eat. I got a vendetta. Any one of you niggas, I been better. Got them gritting they teeth without gritting at them. Took a second away from the table, it's time to feast. Heard they was mumbling, talking up under their breath. That nigga a hoe, he soft. That nigga lame. That nigga bitch, he puss. I stood on business, that's law. I had them running that boots and tucking they tail and scared to put me on a song. I had them cuffing they bitch and thinking I hit. Shit, what you on? Couple years off, and I'm back in this motherfucker, nigga. Do somebody, then fuck your recognition. You don't like I'm spitting, nigga, better shoot somebody. The game and full of clowns, I don't believe you sucker niggas. Better leave me be, okay? Niggas better watch their speech, okay? You better than me, no way, Jose. I could be cutthroat and I'm all out, but I let them get paid for a minute. Let them look gang for a minute, but really they hate cause I never look lame for an image. Never be fake, I'm a realist, I'm solid. I went out and got it, I promise I'm with it. Want me to switch up and get soft on so you can make it, I promise I get it. I know some secrets I never tell, but most of you rap niggas got bitch ways. Quick to tell on you, get jammed down, couldn't sit down 5-6 days. Put him and him in a crossway, but a gang member on display. That's the same nigga with an AK on the block yelling out gunplay. That's the same nigga with a trap house and he been through it so he no pain. Look in the face of a realer. Lost come questioning me on no names. Bitch, I really come from the trenches. Kathleen crashed out like road rage. Be done snapped out and got life in the pen cause most of you niggas got hoe ways. Man. See, most of these niggas got whole way. A lot of these niggas be out here faking and fucking on these motherfucking tracks, talking that gangster shit. You too young to be done been through something, young nigga. You too young to be done been through something, nigga. Don't tell me about what you done been through, nigga. You ain't never stood over nothing. Nigga, you don't have nightmares at night, nigga. This shit sound good on the track. Now you got the other niggas out here crashing out cause they think you been through it and they favorite rapper. Sit down somewhere, nigga. That shit lame as fuck, boy. You nigga really done piss me off. See, I see you nigga really done piss me off. See, I won't fuck with none of you pussy ass rap nigga. Fuck you nigga. You niggas see me all the time, nigga. Hit me in my mouth, nigga.
Shout out to everybody down here from that 214 across the pond. Salute to all the beautiful people who rocking tonight. Salute, salute, salute. Right? Salute, salute, salute. Shout out to Blue, Growth, Akasha. And that's okay, I love you, Akasha. Shout out to Jordan. Good night, Jordan. Love you too. Shout out to Growth. She said she's trying to make it. Shout out to Queen. Shout out to Catherine in the building, the beautiful Catherine. Shout out to Mo S. Who else in here? Shout out to the beautiful, pretty Kookie in the building. And first off, I see this comment right here. It's the first one. Oh God, this shout out to Blue. She said, watch Runkle. He explains it. If you're getting your information that nut job Candace Owens, you need help. No, you might be the one who need help, Blue. Right? Because who are you to tell me what the fuck my opinion or who I can to watch? Right? Do you do everybody like that? Or is it just me? Right? You came over here today doing all that extra stuff, right? And it's cool, but like I say, if I need help, you need help, right? And salute to Runkle, right? He might do got some information I need to look at, but I'm not watching Runkle. When I was doing that breakdown, I'm watching Candace Owens, right? And that's because I choose to do that, right? But, I can't talk like this because if I say this, they go, I'm angry. Everybody saying doing this, but damn, they can come in here and tell me I'm a nut job, right? I come here and get called a nut job. And she talking about if you believe in what Candace Owens is saying, right? I'm going over. And if you saying that you ain't saying nothing that makes sense, okay, that's you. No need for you to come on here and call me a nut job because If I start saying words to you, if you believe in somebody and you're this, then you know how it's gonna look on me. Oh no, it's gonna look the other way on you calling me a nut job. But if I say something, then oh, it's a problem. Come on, be more respectful than that, right? You can have a difference of opinion. I don't care about that. But don't tell me I'm a nut job because I choose to watch who the hell I want to, right? Because I choose to watch who the hell I want to. And in my Bobby Brown voice, it's my prerogative. Hold up. I can do what I want to do. It's my prerogative. Hold up. Stop playing. Oh, my. Boy, you know, like, even like I say, you know, boy, when I said, boy, they came for your boy. Right? Boy, but look, I want to keep it player. I'm going to just say that. And it's our respect. Because I ain't mad at Blue. But I'm just saying, like, don't come in here and telling me if I believe in somebody, then I'm a nut job. Like, what is this? What is this? Right? What is this? Because this is the thing right here. Everybody gonna see stuff different ways. And that's y'all prerogative. Y'all could do what y'all want to do. Right? I'm just saying though, but hey, it is what it is. I'll be the what they call it, I'll be the pinata just beat me up. Right? When I said, you know, but let everybody else get a pass. But I salute everybody that's on me though. Y'all know I love y'all to death. Everybody, whether, you know, like whoopty woo whoopty woo 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 woo. Y'all the best, right? And I just appreciate y'all, right? Because if it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't be able to rock like I rock, you know? You know, the few people that's in here, and I'm going to show up and show out every time, right? Regardless, with all the energy, you know? And I just hope y'all keep on supporting me, right? Because I'm not here to do the right thing. I'm not here to do the wrong thing. I'm here to do my thing. And that's what I came in doing. But I guess people forget that. But it's cool. But let me turn up for you beautiful people real quick before we start. Man, salute, salute, salute. Pretty cool, kid. Thank you to death. I love you to death. And I love everybody to death. Whether you agree with me or disagree with me, I ain't no here to tell y'all, nah, you can't just say this to me, you know, like, but it's like, damn, when I'm saying something, you know, they just you believe that you're a nut job. It's like me screaming, you're a nut job. Right? They're saying it loud, but this is how I speak. I get extra with it, y'all know that. But I only think people like your extraness, right? I think people like your extraness is when they agree with what you're saying. But then if they don't agree with what you're saying, then your extraness is a problem. Now, it's okay, right? But I just don't understand it. Even if you is wrong, right? But hey, I love y'all to death. And keep it coming, because y'all know that's how we roll. Now look, Tyler Robinson case gets wild. Boy, Jesse on fire and everybody questioning everything, right? Everything. Oh my. So y'all know it's growing controversy surrounding this case. And the big bold claims, you know, that's being made, you know, by everybody, you know, not saying that they're true, right? But it got to be some legitimacy to it, right? Because remember, yesterday was breaking news. The bullets didn't match the gun. 7 fingerprints on the rifle, and not one was Tyler Robinson? Man, hold up. What is we doing? What is we doing? Not one fingerprint on there was Tyler Robinson. And then yesterday, the sheriff abruptly quits? Oh, wow. It's like, I thought Putty Cat. I did see a Putty Cat. Oh, wow. And he just quit? And then people want to say, oh, if you believe in Candace Owens, you're a nut job. So explain this to this nut job, right? Why don't the bullets match the gun to this nut job, right? I think that. Because my noodles ain't right, remember? Why don't you explain to this nut job who noodles ain't right why Tyler Robinson fingerprints went on the gun? Explain that to this nut job who noodles ain't right. Right? That's why it's always 9 out of 10 to recommend one person has to take the opposite side for opposite side's sakes, right? So I want them to explain that to this nut job. I want them to explain how we seen them angles and you ain't see no blood on the shirt to this nut job, right? Explain that to me. Explain that to this nut job. Blue called me a nut job, so I'm a nut job who noodles ain't right. Explain that to me. She said, if I believe Candace Owens, no, it ain't. If I believe, it's this information that's coming out that I'm going over. And if I believe Candace Owens, when everybody's standing and the sheriff abruptly retired, well, hey, everybody, explain that to this nut job who noodles ain't right. Oh, man, but look, we got Jesse. And there's some more evidence, y'all. Shout out to Jesse on Fire, man. If y'all ain't subscribed to him, go subscribe to him. Shout out to Jen, Goggles 2846, nothing. Ain't nothing happened. We just in here mobbing and chilling and a mobbing. Catherine, you never got to apologize. Beautiful. Love you to death. So let's get into it.
Yeah, and so you're saying basically because the fragmentation of the bullet was so severe, I don't mean to one of the options that of course you wouldn't be able to necessarily identify it via forensic evidence with the gun.
Sounds like Colvin is desperately trying to lead the guy into saying things that he's not saying. Hey, but wait till you see the next part of this video and the angle that they try to go with that. Now, obviously, last night, well, I guess today you guys saw it. I did the video about the developments in the Charlie Kirk case where Tyler Robinson, rifle didn't match, all that stuff.
Yeah, we went over the last night, Jess. Big chance.
The fragment didn't match, and arguing about what it means, yada, 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 right? And the sheriff actually resigned, and I did not do a great job. I did a great job evaluating his body language, but I actually forgot to really get into what the accusations are against him and to why he resigned, so we're going to do that.
The accusation. We're going to get into him. Hold up.
But first, we're going to start with a much, much, much bigger story in conjunction with what we learned about yesterday. Because when I tell you that this case is very much not what it seems, I mean, this should go without saying, obviously, as anybody who's been covering this for a long time has been showing people. But this development that we just found out about here is even crazier than the rifle round not matching.
But it ain't no pun intended, but I'm serious, Shy. I know. I like that. So now I'm a nut job who noodles ain't right. And that's all in fun and jokes. Like, I like that. I really like that. I'll say it. And I'm not playing, I'm a nut job who noodles ain't right. I like that.
Oh no, I didn't hear the new song about Erica.
Straight up. And this has to do with
Oh, we're going to have to play it on the show tomorrow. I know I love Erica to death. We're going to play it on the show tomorrow.
federal involvement in what is supposedly a state case. Because I can show you example after example after example.
Oh, pretty cool. You can send it to me on X, and I can try to see if I can get it in.
Example after example of Cash talking specifically about what their involvement is in this trial, which is nothing. We are here to support. This is a state case because I've talked about
it. If you can send it to me on X, I can try to download it and get it in. Promise you that.
Nauseum. I'm like, why would they give up this case? It's Charlie Kirk's their friend, you know. Now, we're going to get into what I'm talking about now because this development is extremely wild. And we're also going to take a look at TPUSA's response to the rifle story, okay? So they are claiming that the Daily Mail headline is not true and that it's being misrepresented. And if we have time, I'm going to let you see something.
Oh, it's not true. And it's being misrepresented, really? Okay, tell us how.
With Nate and Alex Jones here related to the case, but we're going to do this in order, okay? So let's rock and roll right now. Take a look at this story and this new information about what the district attorney has and doesn't have in their current status in the Charlie Kirk assassination case against Tyler Robinson. This is bananas.
Oh, that the district attorney's office in Utah is still, to this day, waiting on the feds. They're waiting on the FBI. They're waiting on the ATF for necessary information, not only for their evidence, but so that they can share it with the defense. Now, I don't know how you feel about Tyler, and it's fine. You are entitled to your opinion. But in the United States of America, we are innocent before proven guilty. And this is the problem that I have. Not that I think that he is innocent, but the fact that we are go ahead and we are already trying him and convicting him in the square of public opinion.
I'm sorry. I don't want to, this guy's doing a great job. I'm not trying to like actually break his balls, but if there's ever been a case where the public is definitely not trying and convicting the guy before this happens, it is Tyler Robinson, because there is an entire industry of people who are trying to show that he almost certainly did not do this or didn't do it.
Now that's true, right? But it's also true what he's saying. The guy who was just speaking, like Jesse on Fire, it's truth what he's saying, but it's also truth what the other guy said. It's people out here who don't look at him like he innocent before guilty, but the traction has been picking up a lot, right, of him being innocent, but some people see him as guilty.
Alone, I don't think that he killed anybody. The entire Candace Owens crew definitely doesn't think that he killed anybody. And so, and there's a million other people, you know, the only people currently who still believe the like straight up official story apparently are the quartering and the quartering. But we'll see. Listen, when the trial starts, there's nothing that I would like less than to find out that he actually did murder Charlie Kirk. And I spent a millisecond defending him, because if he, you know, like if it turns out that he really did kill Charlie, okay, it would be like acid in my mouth to find out that I almost helped him or tried to help him in any way.
You know, and exactly like he's saying, we ain't on her, and I'm definitely not trying to help nobody. I'm just looking at the new stuff that's coming out, right? Ain't that what you're supposed to do? Okay.
Because I would much rather do the opposite if it's true. But, you know, a lot of problems with the case.
This is from the district attorney's mouth himself, looking at the judge and telling us that they don't have, you know what? I'm going to let you listen to it. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below, because this is insane.
As I said, we met and talked about discovery. We talked about some of our expectations. We are candidly still waiting for some information. We had a meeting yesterday morning with some of our federal partners, the FBI, the ATF, and talked about this issue of discovery and impressed upon them the need to have everything in our possession.
Yeah.
We were assured that it's coming quickly.
Yeah, in May.
The ATF, for example, we expect to have their entire case file within the next week or so that we will send to defense. And we believe that will have all of the underlying data in its original form that the defense could then use for their purposes with their experts.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Also of reaching out to all the local law enforcement agencies.
Dude, for the record.
No, before he say something, because I ain't seen this, right? What that dude facial expressions, everything. And look, this is a serious case, right? But what is facial expressions, everything? Okay, pretty cookie. One thing, everything. And another thing that I forgot to mention earlier, did y'all hear how they still waiting on stuff from the FBI, ATF, and some other organization, they said? What is this? Like, what is this? We got to look at both sides, right? You got to look at both sides, right? Because if he was the guy who did it, you don't want to spend no time, like he said, defending him, right? But you still waiting on all this for them. Hold up. Is this America? Oh my, I thought it was, oh say, can you see by the dawn's early light? I thought it was America. What is this? You know, what is this?
A kid supposedly took a rifle, okay, went up onto a roof, aimed it at a person, pulled the trigger, and shot him, okay? At the end of the day, that's the case. Like, that is the official case. And there's a reason why I am running through it like this. Now, how many of you guys have shot a rifle before? How many of you guys have shot with a firearm of some kind, a large living being, okay? Like, I assume most people outside of the military probably haven't shot a human, but how many of you guys have shot a big deer? Okay? I've bodied a couple deer. That's my, when it comes to big, large mammals that I've killed 2 deer in my life, okay? Slightly more bizarre circumstances than just going hunting, but nonetheless, okay? That's my body list as far as the world is concerned. Guess what, though? I'm about to add another body onto that list. If you don't subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for
ring the bell, subscribe on the channel.
Help me get out of the doghouse by forwarding or sharing
like
this video. Honestly, I need to get out of the doghouse. It's driving me insane. My videos are not being shown to anyone. If you guys could share my content on your social media, I will appreciate it more than anything. Thank you, guys. I'm not going to kill it.
Exactly what he
said.
And
to any of you guys who have, let's just say, hunting actually has more similarity to this than the circumstances of my thing. So I'll just talk to you guys. You go up into your spot that you're going to spot from, or that you're going to shoot from, whether it's a big house or whatever. You get there, you set up, you wait for a deer to come into play or whatever you're shooting at, you aim your rifle at it, you pull the trigger, and it's dead. Now, if someone was going to tell a group of people about what you did so that they could get them to understand the circumstances of how you got to the place where you were going to shoot, fired the shot, and then what happened afterwards, can you think of anything that would take October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, 8 months to put together for a case like this? Like something, it's like the number one priority of whoever you're waiting on. It's like, this is the biggest case in the country, maybe the biggest case in the last 20 years. What on earth would take 8 months? The underlying
footage of him clinching the stars, I'm not sure, but I'll definitely look into it. And give me a little bit more information on that. I must have missed that. I was over here getting pretty cookie song. I'm sorry, y'all.
Data, you're all guys. I've seen this make-believe case that you guys put out. I've seen the footage of him driving into the parking lot. I've seen him at whatever restaurant.
Man, so I don't. This is crazy work. Now look, y'all, I want to take a quick little break real quick. Look, so while I do that, I want to play my favorite song I like right now. Please hit that. Oh, Melinda, hold up. And look, Melinda, I'm so sorry. And this is for you and Jordan, right? Like, because I missed you turning me up. And that was days ago. So this is for you and everybody else. This is a turn up for Melinda, and I love you to death. And I'm so sorry that I missed that.
The wind hums low, a hollow refrain through cracked window panes. It calls my name. The clock ticks slow. Its echo stays. Each moment drags, then slips away. Blue, blue curtains are hiding all my pain. Blue, blue curtains are dancing in the rain. Blue, blue curtains keep the shine far away. Blue, blue curtains won't let me escape.
My stuff, y'all.
The walls close in.
I love this song pretty good.
Shadows stretch long. Night wears a mask where dreams don't belong. A bird once sang. Now silent is light. The sky holds no stars. Just clouded skies. Pain's a prison, the glass cuts deep. Eyes wide open, yet I can't sleep. Blue, blue curtains are hiding all my pain.
I swear to God, I love this song.
Blue curtains are dancing in the rain. Blue curtains keep the shine far away. Blue, blue curtains won't let me escape. Oh, if I could tear them down, let the light pour through. But they hang like chains, stitched with sorrow's hue. Every fold whispers secrets I can't.
Oh, I'm not lying.
Every thread pulls tighter, leaving no space.
Man, let me tell you something. This song touched my soul. Y'all heard me? I'm not lying, right? And I put that on everything I love. Now, look, I want to ask y'all real quick before we continue. Is anybody like me, right? When you hear a song that you like, right, you just keep playing it over and over. Like, I'm telling y'all, this has just been getting played. Look, when a song get me, it get me. I'm just like that. Is anybody like that? Because I just will play, like, this song right here, bro. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. But now, look. We're going to get back to it, but I ain't heard this, though, right? Yeah, songs and movies. You ain't lying. Like, I love watching Life, right? Love watching Life. Like, I could watch that over and over and over again. You know, Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence, right? But, man, hold up. I'm not, man, that's, look, I'm telling y'all, right? When I like a song, I just play it over and over again. Like, if you my friend, like, if you riding with me, like, you'll get tired of me. And I wouldn't give a damn, because I'm turning up, you hear me? And that's just how I'm coming. Real talk. But let's get into this beautiful song. And Pretty Cookie. I didn't get a chance to look, but what is the name of this beautiful song you made for the beautiful Erica? I play it, but my people get tired of me, right? Because I play stuff over and over again. Yeah, that's just me. I like it. That's me. I'm being so honest. Yep, right. I played my 6-year-old grandson the Daisy song. Where can I find it? On Pretty Cookie. Pretty Cookie, drop your link, and I'll put it at the top. But what is the name of this song? Because I ain't lying to you. In another song I've been trying to get to, was the gossip song to play that, because I love that song too. But this Blue Curtains, this Daisy, man, it got me locked. It got me locked, ankle lock, neck lock. You know what I'm saying? And I can't submit because I'm fighting. You know, because I love this song so much, right? And like if you're feeling down, you listen to this song. Right, it just gives you a great feeling. Erica, okay, Erica, and I mean that with everything in me. This song right here, it helped me. But like other songs help a lot of people, right? But this song right here touches my sizzle, right? But let's get into Erica by the beautiful Pretty Cookie. But I'm gonna wait till she drop her link first, so I can pin it to the top. So the beautiful Miss Melinda can go subscribe over there so she can go get all them songs she got. And don't get it twisted, see, the intro song, I love that motherfucker to death too, right? That's why it's the intro song. Damn. How am I do this shit? Hey, write some first, then drop it, because my big fan. How the fuck? Oh, no, I got it. Never mind, I got it. That Pretty Cookie shit at the top, right? Like it got me, right? So that's just how I've been. I'm sorry, I know I talk too much. Let's get to Erica by the beautiful Pretty Cookie. Erica to the buffer zone. All right, let's see how we come.
Rights on the tongue, she don't bend, don't break. First I'm in the fire, make no mistake. Lights up, hot mic, red telly, she's on. We got questions blazing and she's already gone. Puff, puff, to the dome. Puff, puff, to the dome. From Erica to the buffer zone. Puff, puff, to a dome. Puff, puff, to a dome. It's Erica, queen of the buffer zone. The buffer zone. The buffer zone. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She cuts through the spin like a blade through a thread. They dodge, she advances, stage 3, moves ahead. Every word measured, every side I known. Tried to box her in, she redraws the whole zone. Puff, puff, to the dome. Puff, puff, to the dome. From Erica to the buffer zone. Puff, puff, to a dome. Puff, puff, to a dome. It's Erica, queen of the buffer zone. The buffer zone. The buffer zone.
Man, hold up. Not only is it hitting where it got you bouncing, do you hear the artistry in that shit? And that's no gaslight, right? No gaslight. Do you hear the artistry? This is called buffer zone, y'all. This is called buffer zone. Do you see how her mind think? Boy, Pretty Kooky is a mad scientist, and I'm sorry. We're going to get back to it. But I got to bump this again. This is another one, Pretty Kooky. In my DJ Khaled voice, we got another one.
Yeah. Rights on the tongue, she don't bend, don't break. First I'm in the fire, make no mistake. Lights up, hot mic, red telly, she's on. We got questions blazing and she's already gone. Puff, puff, to the dome. Puff, puff, to the dome. From Erica to the buffer zone. Puff, puff, to a dome. Puff, puff, to a dome. It's Erica, queen of the buffer zone. The buffer zone. The buffer zone. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She cuts through the spin like a blade through a thread. They dodge, she advances, stays 3 moves ahead. Every word measured, every side I known. Tried to box her in, she redraws the whole zone. Puff, puff, to the dome. Puff, puff, to the dome. From Erica to the buffer zone. Puff, puff, to a dome. Puff, puff, to a dome. It's Erica, queen of the buffer zone. The buffer zone. The buffer zone.
It's Erica to the buffer zone. Man, hold up. Oh my God. See, the thing about that, see, when it comes to music, I want to like the beat. I want to like not just the beat, but the different sounds. I want to see how the hook gonna be, and I want to see how the verse is gonna be. But see, this is what's crazy. Usually when you do music, right? When you hear new music, right? You don't know it. I'm talking about like from like an artist who come out, right? You don't know it, either you're gonna like it or not. And what makes this song so special, right? And I'm not bullshit. And I say this and I mean this, like that. Y'all know Daisy, and Blue. That's my that's my. But this right here, and I'm not gaslighting. I think this one right here is the best one that I really done heard, because you got to think about it. The artistry, right? And listen. I love that. I'm gonna be honest with you. Y'all know I bump Blue Curtains, but with this one, not only is the beat jamming, the hook hitting, but it's the message and it's true. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my. Now look, I think we're going to have another one coming up. But look, let me get back to this, and I'm going to try to get that one in her, y'all. But oh my God. Puff, puff, to the dawn. Puff, puff, to the dawn. It's Erica to the buffer zone. Hold up, puff, puff, hold up, to the dawn. Hold up, puff, puff, hold up, to the dawn. It's Erica to the buffer zone. Man, stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Hold up. And I'm puffing right now to the dome. Hold up, for real. I'm puffing right now to the dome. Hold up. It's Erica to the buffer zone. Hold up. Oh my. So let me give that. Oh my. And trust me, it's got this. Like these stand in rotation. I really, man, pretty cool guy. I love it. Like I ain't lying. Catchy is a motherfucker's cake, ain't it? A puff puff, a da da dum, a puff puff, a da da dum. It's Erica to the buffer zone. Hold up, man, stop playing.
In the video of him jumping off the roof with something that seems like it might have a rifle underneath it or whatever, it doesn't really look like it. I've seen the photographs that you guys said look like him, which I don't think that they do. I think they look more like the transferee, but they certainly don't resemble him in any meaningful way, right? I've seen, doesn't seem to be a rifle down his pants. I've heard your guys' story about him putting it together and taking it apart. Okay, what possible data could the ATF need to provide to the prosecution that would take this long? Okay. Now, also, do you remember what I said about them saying they passed the case off to the state? Well, check these out, right? So this is on September 15th, okay? FBI head says note and DNA link suspect to Kirk killing, okay? Look at that, September 15th. I'm not like perfectly amazing at math, but I think that's 5 days afterwards, right? 5 days, 5 days. And he says, okay, Mr. Patel said that Mr. Robinson had suggested before the shooting that he was going to kill Mr. Kirk in a text message exchange in a written note. He said that the note was destroyed, but that the authorities were able to reconstruct it. Well,
I'm sorry, y'all. I said the director, Cash Patel, said DNA matching that of the suspect, Tyler Robinson, was found on a towel wrapped around the bolt action rifle that was believed to be used in the shooting, as well as on a screwdriver that was found on the rooftop where the fatal shot was fired. Oh my. September the 15th. Okay, Jesse, what you got to tell us?
destroy the note was to do it in a way where it could just be reconstructed, because that makes perfect sense, right? So he decided to follow the instructions and to destroy the note where Tyler admitted to him that he, was going to kill Charlie, or that he did. And then when he said, yeah, go ahead, destroy it, he's all, you got it. And he just tore it in half once. Just like threw it in the trash.
I'm sorry.
We're gonna come back to that in a second, but check this out. The director, this is still from September 15th, Cash Patel said DNA matching that of the suspect, Tyler Robinson, was found on a towel wrapped around the bolt action rifle that was believed to be used in the shooting, as well as on a screwdriver that was found on the rooftop where the fatal shot was fired. So I just want to make sure that I understand. You had successfully tested the DNA from the towel that you found that was wrapped around the rifle by September 15th. And yet, 8 months later, the district attorney somehow still will be waiting on whatever they are saying that you need to get them, because they can't try the case otherwise. No, hey, listen, this is all lining up. It makes perfect sense to me.
Do y'all hear that? Do y'all hear that? Y'all said y'all had the towel and the screwdriver and all that on September the 15th. I'm just saying. And y'all still saying that y'all need to whoop-de-whoop get them the rest of this information? Now, everybody knows this is a serious case, right? This is a serious case. This ain't for play. This is the death sentence that they trying to get. What is we doing? Oh, wait.
Also, we're going to come back to that because there's more in the original video, but I just wanted to show you guys, something really quick. Oh, and then by the way, just real quick on this particular article, this is the article talking about how the DOJ were like, they couldn't understand. They're like, why wouldn't the why wouldn't they try this case federally? And they go through how every other example of something like this, the state tried this crime, and then the feds would come behind it and try other sides of it. And they're like, it makes no sense that they have not. They could have just taken it over. They talk about how they could have just taken it over as a political assassination or a terror thing, whatever. And they didn't do that. And then they're also not bringing any federal charges behind it because it makes perfect sense. But what I wanted to show you guys real quick, okay, just now that we know what the DNA is, we want to revisit this absolutely real 100% text message thread. Okay. So I'll be playing both parts here. Okay. So we'll start with Lance. Okay. Lance is the transferee that will be testifying against Tyler Robinson, it turns out, and also has an entire social media.
So Lance is a transferee, which he means, who see herself like the Jenner. Look, I'm thinking of a Dave Chappelle joke. Did y'all ever see that Dave Chappelle joke? Because Caitlyn Jenner, right? Remember, okay, lay down, Catherine. You know I love you to death, Catherine. So, Caitlyn Jenner, right? No, she transformed. No, y'all gotta go find that joke, because I can't do it like Dave Chappelle. He said, it's something in the lines where he said, when she transformed to a woman, right? And then win Woman of the Year in the first year. Oh my God. Oh, I'm telling y'all. He said she transformed into a woman, then win Woman of the Year in the first year of being, transformed into a woman. Man, I advise y'all, go watch that shit. Boy, it had my stomach in knots. I'm sorry, y'all. And when he said that, it just brought that to my mind.
History that had never had anyone interact with it until after 9/10, until last night. Suddenly there were these things that had never been there before, but they're now. Anyway, whatever. So Lance, what? You're joking, right? I'm still okay, my love, but I'm stuck in Orem for a little while longer yet. Shouldn't be long until I can come home, but I got to grab my rifle still. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret till I died of old age. I am sorry to involve you. Lance's common sense question back would have been, then why are you telling me? But no, he said, you weren't the one who did it, right? Tyler, I am, and I'm sorry. Lance, I thought they caught the person. Huh? Isn't that what Cash Patel said also? Cash said that they had caught the person and he got a big...
Now think about this. Hey, I'm not saying it's true or it's not true, right? But listen, I know y'all watching this with me, right? And I'm not saying it's true or not true, right? But like the great Jesse on Fire saying, do this sound like you want the one who did it, right? What you know? I'm sorry. What? I'm still okay. You want the one who did it, right? What? I'm just saying, let's continue. I'm just asking questions. I'm just asking questions because do that look like it got, look at him. He put all the proper periods and exclamation marks, and you just did that. I'm asking.
A ball break over it because that was the original pull your pants down guy that they blackmailed to be there, right? Robinson says, no, they grabbed some crazy old dude, then interrogated someone in similar clothing. I had planned to grab my rifle from my drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet, almost enough to get out. But there's one vehicle lingering. Probably the vehicle of the people who are going to put the rifle where they need to find it after the bomb sniffing dogs did not locate it somehow. But are we actually pretending that Tyler is waiting to go there? Because this is a made up conversation. Twigs, why? Robinson, why did I do it? Twigs, yes. Robinson, I had enough of his hatred. Some hatred can't be negotiated out. If I'm able to grab my rifle unseen, I will have left no evidence. Going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully, they will have moved on. I haven't seen anything about them finding it.
It's just a theater of the way he reads it. This seem a little suspect with these texts I'm asking. Do they or don't they? I don't know. Could be true. You know, that I guess she could be a smart person and making sure you're putting all this apostrophes and periods and question marks and stuff like that. Right? It could be. But it also could be, I can look at it and see, oh man, it looks like it's fabricated. Man, I'm saying I don't know. But look.
Well, that changed soon afterwards, right? When they posted a picture from Reuters of not that rifle, which somehow led to the parents going, isn't that your father's rifle, the grandfather of Tyler? And he's like, it is. That's it. Tyler, I'm going to need you to prove that you did not shoot Charlie Kirk. And Tyler's over here. He's like, land. I'm the one that did it. Because, of course, 22-year-olds that are planning to do something this crazy would never tell their that they live with. Robinson, a bit over a week, I believe. I can get close to it, but there is a squad car parked by it. I think they already swept that spot, but I don't want to chance it. He says, now, I'm wishing I had circled back and grabbed it as soon as I got my vehicle. I'm worried about my old man. I'm worried about what my old man would do if I didn't bring back Grandpa's rifle. I don't know if it had a serial number, but it wouldn't trace to me. I worry about prints. I had to leave it in the bush where I changed outfits. Didn't have the ability or time to bring it with. This is so stupid. I literally can't. I can't. So he's thinking of.
Y'all heard this? What y'all think? I don't. Like you said, I literally can't. Because I'm trying to understand. Oh my.
About serial numbers afterwards. Okay. Like, did he in between when he shot Charlie Kirk and this moment, like download some like brand new information from the Matrix? Because if you're thinking about serial numbers, you would take care of that beforehand by scratching them off. Now, luckily for everybody, this particular Mauser was so old that it was before serial numbers. Imagine that, you guys, an untraceable rifle. So there's that. But if you're going to think about it beforehand, you would take care of that. And the thing about fingerprints, dude, okay, I hope they don't find prints. If you're worried about fingerprints, you would wear gloves. Okay, that is what a person would do who is worried about prints. You would clean it and you would wear rubber gloves or latex gloves or whatever when you.
He said he hoped they don't find prints. So yesterday news came out, there were 7 different fingerprints and none was his. So why would he say, I may have to abandon it. I hope they don't find prints. I'm just asking.
We're handling it. Hello? You think, again, like you think you just got a big new set of information afterwards? How the fuck will I explain losing it to my old man? Only thing I left was the rifle wrapped in a towel. That's convenient, you guys. And did you say the DNA was on the towel? This is all adding up perfectly. What a case. There's no chance he's going to have any defense against this. And then this part, I love this part, dude. Remember how I was engraving bullets? Remember that? And I wrote, hey, fascist, catch. Remember? So they know it was a leftist, okay? The fucking messages are mostly a big meme. If I see, quote, notices bulge UWU on Fox News, I might have a stroke. LOL. Because if I just committed a murder for the first time in my entire life and I'm 23 and I'm a moron, I know I would be in a very joking mood. Like I would be thinking everything's hilarious. I was just a second ago talking about whether or not they're going to be able to pin this to me because of, DNA or fingerprints or whatever, which would lead to me getting the death penalty or life in prison. But that doesn't mean that my emotional state wouldn't leave room for levity. Let's make jokes because this is how humans behave. And then, all right, I'm going to have to leave it. That really effing sucks. Judging from today, I'd say Grandpa's gun does just fine. I don't know. I think it was like a $2,000 scope. Oh, really? Who puts a $2,000 scope on a World War II Mauser? I'm just saying it's weird. And then he says, delete this exchange. Robin said, my dad wants photos of the rifle. He says Grandpa wants to know who has what. The feds released a photo of the rifle, and it is very unique. He's calling me right now. I'm not answering. Now, this is the end of them having an official story that makes any sense. And I'll show you exactly why. Okay, so read that again. My dad wants photos of the rifle. He says Grandpa wants to know who has what. The feds released a photo of the rifle, and it is very unique. He's calling me right now. I'm not answering. Okay, right there. You see that in plain English. This is the transcript of the supposed conversation between Tyler Robinson and Lance Twiggs that the feds gave to Newsweek. Okay, well, unfortunately, okay, this is the photo that was released. Okay, this is not a Mauser. That's not what this is. Okay, or it's not the type of Mauser that they claim that it was, which is a bolt action. That one's a bolt action also. But oh my God, I lost it. It's hang on. The real one, the real model is this. It's like this one. Okay, so this is what an actual World War II Mauser looks like. But here's the thing: it was so old that it was untraceable. Now they never released a picture of this rifle. They released a picture of this rifle, which looks like every other rando 30-06 on the market. There's like 5, 6, 7 kinds that look just like this. Okay, and so the feds released a photo of the rifle and it's very unique. Okay, well, where's that picture? Because this is the exact picture that they would release. There's nothing unique about this at all. Nothing. And it's also not a World War II Mauser. Okay, so right there, pretty big problem for the official story. And then listen to this. Okay, the next part. This part is so ludicrous. He says, since Trump got into office, my dad has been pretty diehard MAGA. You're like, you live with this trans furry and you guys are hardcore leftists, and you've never mentioned to him before that your dad is a hardcore MAGA person. You're just gonna.
I'm sorry. Oh shit. Oh, he funny as shit. Oh, wait.
Throw that into this random text thread where you happen to announce that they recovered. Hey, we found 4 bullets that had things written on them. One said, "Hey, fascist, catch." The other one says, "Notices bulge UWU." That's listed in the papers or in the media. And then when they're like,
Melinda, good night. I love you to death, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much for everything and being here tonight. I really love and appreciate you for that. Sweet dreams. Ocean Behave, what's poppin'?
well, listen, guys, we were able to locate a text. By chance, he actually mentioned the exact quote that was on one of the bullets. See, remember how I was engraving bullets? They're mostly a big meme. If I see notices bulge UWU on Fox News, I might have a whatever. You're all, are you guys, do you really think we're this gullible, dude? Hey, this is absurd. Now, we are going to go.
Thank you, Ocean, for coming through. Now, do y'all hear that? And I appreciate that very much. Ooh wee. Ooh wee. Ooh wee. Oh, shout out to the beautiful Melinda. She done did it, y'all. She done did it. She done did it. Hold on. Let me go to it. Oh, I'm sorry. My finger's too quick. She say, kisses to all. Good night. Hold up real quick. A puff, puff. A to the down. A puff, puff. A to the down. Erica to the buffer zone. We're going to turn you up with that.
Yeah. Rights on the tongue, she don't bend, don't break. First I'm in the fire, make no mistake. Lights up, hot mic, red telly, she's on. We got questions blazing and she's already gone. Puff, puff, to the dome. Puff, puff, to the dome. From Erica to the buffer zone. Puff, puff, to a dome. Puff, puff, to a dome. It's Erica, queen of the buffer zone. The buffer zone. The buffer zone. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She cuts through the spin like a blade through a thread. They dodge, she advances, stays 3 moves ahead. Every word measured, every side I known. Tried to box her in, she redraws the whole zone. Puff, puff, to the dome. Puff, puff, to the dome. From Erica to the buffer zone. Puff, puff, to a dome. Puff, puff, to a dome. It's Erica, queen of the buffer zone. The buffer zone. The buffer zone.
Hold up, man. Shout out to the beautiful, pretty kooky, man. With buffers on, you hear me? Let me puff real quick. Y'all hear that? A puff, to the dome. A puff, to the dome. It's Erica, queen of the buffer zone. Hold up! Man, y'all better stop playing with pretty kooky, man. Her link is at the top, man. Y'all go subscribe to her. Like, real talk, man. She is the truth. Able to play this stuff, where people can see it and hear it, because it is amazing. Oh my God. Like, I want to play it so bad again. We'll get back to it. Let me go back to this thing for it. Go puff, hold up, to the dome. Hold up, puff, hold up, to the dome. It's Erica, hold up, the queen of the buffer zone. Hold up. Stop playing with me.
Go back to the original video because there's more there, but I did want to let Andrew Colvett speak out a little bit about what was inside of the Daily Mail yesterday, because listen, they deserve an opportunity to talk about why this is like a nothing burger or whatever, right? It's like 3 minutes, so we're gonna watch their response to this story.
Appreciate it. See that? Y'all see that? Y'all see Cuz? He breaking it down. I'm just saying, we got to look at both sides. I mean, come on now. Come on now.
Okay.
Just take apart this headline from the Daily Mail. I saw you criticizing it as sort of an egregious misrepresentation of the facts. They're saying the bullet does not match the rifle, court filing claims, right? What's your read of what actually it says?
Well, I mean, it's one of those headlines where they can say something that's true, but because they leave out the context, as soon as you read the article, you can see why it's false. And so what they did was they analyzed a bullet jacket fragment and were unable to determine that it came from the shooter's rifle.
Correct. I'm very curious where he's going to go with this, if he thinks that this is going to disprove the questions that everyone has.
So, unfortunately, ballistic science is, in a lot of cases, a best guess, and in many other cases, pseudoscience. But what we know is it doesn't work like CSI Las Vegas. When a bullet hits something and deforms, which is what we've been talking about the whole time, we're assuming that the shooter probably used a hollow point or some other bullet that is functionally intended to deform when it hits something.
And then where is the bullet then? Then where is it? Because you guys said that they found it just underneath Charlie's skin because he had Superman bones. And thank Lord Jeez, because if he didn't, someone behind him could have gotten killed. Now, that becomes problematic when it's trial time and they're all, well, we were able to find a very small fragment of the jacket. You're all, what are you talking about? I thought there was no exit wound because there was no exit room. Remember the video that we saw? There was no exit wound.
Remember, no exit wound. It's crazy work.
Right? There's no, I mean, listen, he exploded blood out of the front, but there's no exit wound. And
no, it's a great song, Pretty Cookie. You are wonderful. And I appreciate you so much. I really do.
What does that mean exactly? Well, they recovered where's the rest of the bullet then? Okay.
And so when it does that, it doesn't come out in a nice, perfect form where you can see all the lands and grooves from the barrel.
No, for sure.
They can't determine whether the bullet was fired from the rifle, but they also can't determine that it wasn't fired from the rifle.
Okay. Justin Nazarov, he seems like a nice guy. I'm not trying to break his balls. God, I'm like turning red. I have the worst headache I've ever had in my entire life from right there. That's why I keep pressing this. Like, I literally cannot even explain to you what this headache feels like. It's some kind of specific one. ChatGPT told me where it comes from a nerve right there. I've never had it before. It's brutal, man. It feels like I got shot in the head. But nonetheless, right? So, again, Justin seems like a nice guy. He knows as well as anybody else. A 30-06 round neck is not only unlikely to deform, but it's unlikely to, and the reason, again, like the reason it's going to go so clear, just straight through the neck. There's nothing here, dude. There's nothing here. I shot 1945 frangible rounds. Okay. They have literally been in a depot for the last 80 years or whatever. And me and Dan took them out to the ranch. They were frange rounds before, and now they have half the functional powder in the, next to the primer or whatever. Like, it's, you could very clearly hear that they were not even remotely as loud or fast as the regular rounds that we had already proven would rip through a neck so easily. And they ripped right through it, dude. I mean, like, this whole thing is so silly, dude.
That's effectively all they're saying. They're saying that there's some reasonable doubt that it could theoretically.
You ain't lying, man. It is insane. Nah, everybody make sure they go subscribe to Pretty Cookie, man. See the truth. I ain't lying to you. Absolute truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And she know how I'm coming. For her, and her music is excellent.
Have been something else. Now, I'm not making an affirmative declaration one way or another. I want people to understand that. This has nothing to do with what I think happened or what anybody else thinks happened. All I'm doing is looking at the facts, and as somebody who's been doing this for a very long time, knowing that most people just really don't understand much about firearms.
Okay, so yeah, so everything he said is accurate. He's not saying that it means anything related to the case. He's just saying, like, they didn't say it doesn't match the rifle. They're saying they couldn't use the bullet fragment they found to match it to the rifle, which is, I'm sure, true because it was just a bullet fragment. But you guys already know what I think. You know what I mean? I don't need to harp on that again. So let's move back over. Now let's go back to the original and let's finish this out. I am sorry that I derailed that by that amount, but it was like, this is so ludicrous, man. What could take 8 months?
Really quick, the preliminary hearing for this is in May. That is 2 months from now. It has been 6 months since that happened to Charlie, and still we're waiting on the FBI for ballistics reports from the ATF. I mean, this is what I mean when I say that there has been little to no efforts to figure out what is going on to see if we actually have the right guy here. And people...
You don't. But you might have the wrong crime too.
Like the gal yesterday are attacking me, being like, what do you mean? And then all of her little minions are coming at me going, did you even look at the charging documents? Blah, 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 blah. Feds law. Like, shut your pie hole. Listen to a hearing. If you don't know what you're talking about, you're just going to listen to Jack Salviak. Like, be quiet because you don't have anything on me.
Agencies to ensure that we are in possession of all of the the body camera.
They don't even know if they have all the body camera footage.
We continue to work on that. As part of our discussions yesterday as well, probably the primary purpose of the meeting with the defense yesterday was to forecast what we anticipated presenting at the preliminary hearing that's currently scheduled for May. As far as the individuals that will testify, as well as exhibits, we will be preparing, while it's not required under the rules, we are going to prepare a witness list and an exhibit list that will disseminate to the defense with Bates numbers so that it can be easily found in the case file. We are also helping the defense to facilitate a meeting for them to examine the physical evidence that's in the possession of SBI. We anticipate that will probably happening next month when we're back here.
SPI is statewide property inventory.
I think April 17th. And then lastly, we did also coordinate a meeting to meet with the defense today, this afternoon sometime, to walk the UVU campus.
They haven't walked the UVU campus?
They can take a look and see.
Yeah, Miss Lester, I know her.
What? Dude, this happened in September, man. The beginning of September. This whole thing is ludicrous. And I just want to make very clear here. If this is true right here, okay, if this is true right here, then there is a very, very, very serious problem. Okay. And I've discussed this before. Okay, I've discussed this before, but this is bottom line. If this is true, then I'm right for sure about what's going on.
Someone please explain to me how that makes any sense. What also bothers me about the screwdriver is this video of the suspect running across the roof. Why is the beginning of this video cut off? Why have they never released the beginning of the video?
I wonder.
Oh, wait. Hold up. Damn, I never noticed that. Hold up, I never noticed that.
There is a very, very, very serious problem. Okay, and I've discussed this before. Okay, I've discussed this before, but this is bottom line. If this is true, then I'm right for sure about what's going on.
Someone please explain to me how that makes any sense. What also bothers me about the screwdriver is this video of the suspect running across the roof. Why is the beginning of this video cut off? Why have they never released the beginning of the video?
I wonder if they're still waiting for the feds to give it to them. It's like, why would you need the feds to give you that? Like, shouldn't there be security footage? Like, I don't understand. Why would you need the federal government to give you that? They're like, well, geez, RAI isn't that good to fake the rest of this thing. They've got to do it with the special federal AI.
According to the FBI story, if Tyler Robinson was in fact sitting on the roof with his screwdriver, screwing together his gun, we should be able to see it on the part of the video that is cut off. Is that why they're not showing it to us? Or does he not have a screwdriver in the video and it was planted by the FBI after the fact?
Oh, what a crazy accusation. Do you guys think they would do that? I don't know. But let's hear if there's anything else that seems a little bit problematic.
What is even more strange is how Tyler Robinson's team includes Michael Burt, who's allegedly the cousin of Terrell Farnsworth, guy who controlled the cameras at the crime scene. Does anyone find it strange that out of all the lawyers in Utah, the one lawyer they chose to defend this guy is connected to the powerful Farnsworth family in Arizona?
I mean, I certainly think
oh my God. I had no idea of that. Wait. Wait. But then you have Blue come on her and talk about, what she called your nut job, if you believe what Candace all of these people are saying. Hold up, how is that possible? I'm sorry.
Have a screwdriver in the video, and it was planted by the FBI after the fact.
But let's hear if there's anything else that seems a little bit problematic.
What is even more strange is how Tyler Robinson's own defense attorneys are acting. His defense team includes Michael Burt, who's allegedly the cousin of Terrell Farnsworth. How is this a fair trial if the lawyer is a family member of the guy who controlled the cameras at the crime scene? Does anyone find it strange that out of all the lawyers in Utah, the one lawyer they chose to defend this guy is connected to the powerful Farnsworth family in Arizona.
I mean, I certainly think it's a little bit weird, but I would say that, I could hypothesize about why that would be the case. But I was listening, just as a side note, I was listening to Candace's episode today, just mind blown by the entire thing. I'm going to do a separate video on that actually, but her talking about her interactions with Terrell Farnsworth again are so funny. Okay. Because again, to be clear, I talked about this in my video from that I shot last night and you guys saw today, but we all, the people who watch Candace or are hardcore on what happened here, that all of these people are involved here, TPUSA and all of them, we agree on literally everything. Okay. I only got to where I'm at because your guys' research and, detective work was so good, and but with Farnsworth, I mean, you guys know what my theory is. My theory on why the FBI would have been so hysterical about the fact behind where she's like, there's no blood.
Yeah, I seen
Carol
that.
showed it to her through FaceTime and didn't, for some reason, realize that she might just record it. I think that the FBI coordinated with TPUSA. I think what may have happened actually after hearing that, which made it seem very, 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 very likely to me that the FBI absolutely is coordinating. And this was some kind of thing to take Charlie off the map that was coordinated by the FBI. I think there was a real threat on his life, and it probably came from exactly who you guys think it was coming from. And then they saved him, they saved him by faking it, maybe. But the other thing though is why would they be so concerned about that piece of footage? Now, Candace decided that it is because there's no exit wound, which means that everyone's going to figure out that it wasn't a 30-06 that shot him, which is accurate probably. But I think there's something, I bet you if you look really close with a fine-tooth comb at that footage, and this is obviously a hypothesis, but I bet you that there's something that gives away that I'm right in that video. Now, I don't know who's going to be able to get it, but the full thing, if you get that full thing, because he had the SD card. The little clip Candace got is just a very small portion of that entire thing. And let me ask you guys this, okay? Because someone else asked me this today. If he had, if he had hoses connected to him or whatever, however they would have done this, right? Okay, because again, he's wearing a white shirt. We all saw blood explode out of his neck. There is no blood on his shirt even, dude. Like when he's getting carried by the security, there is no blood, man. There's no blood on the ground where he fell. There's no blood on any of the security guards' shirts. There's no blood on their shoes. It does not make any sense. Someone sent me a thing yesterday. They're like, it's obvious why there's no blood, Jesse. It's because he was killed by the exploding mic and he was electrocuted at the exact same time, which shut down the blood. And I'm like, you guys are telling me that my theory is far-fetched, but I say, look at this special effects thing, and here's a reason that they would have all faked it. Here's all of it. I lay out literally a theory that closes every single loop and answers every single question. They're like, you're crazy. What I think happened is it was all of them for reasons unclear that they all collided, and then they electrocuted him, and that's why there's no blood. Nonetheless, irrelevant. Okay, listen to this though. I think that what's on that video that Candace has is exactly what I'm saying, which would have been them setting up the entire thing because it's right behind him. They would have had to have connected him to things, security or whoever was setting him up, because then I think that what happened is they did the thing, he falls down and security is unhooking him from those things that made the effect happen, which is why I think, when his hand goes up for a second, I think the hose was underneath his arm and they had to lift his arm to get it unwrapped so they could get it off of him. Okay. And then he fell straight onto that big long box. And I think that box held the CO2 that, got the, go through the hose. He has the thing, you can see it. It goes right up to his neck. If you haven't watched episode 2 of my series, you should definitely do that. And if you think about that, what would be on that SD card would have been whoever was rigging that whole thing up. It would have been on that video. And the reason that they would have taken the video anyway would have been to make sure that if the video of him getting shot is really good and they want to release it, because they're taking a million different videos of it because they want to make sure everybody sees it, but they're going to review it and see how it looks first. They decided that the shot didn't look that good. There's no blood. You can't see it. So they weren't going to put it out. But they also captured what? Now, they probably have deleted that by now. But that's what I think is on that video. And that's why he was tripping out so hard about her getting to see it. You know what I mean? But, that's just my opinion.
Okay. So, we. Look, finna take a quick little break real quick. Be right back.
The wind hums low, a hollow refrain through cracked window panes. It calls my name. The clock ticks slow. Its echo stays. Each moment drags, then slips away. Blue, blue curtains are hiding all my pain. Blue, blue curtains are dancing in the rain. Blue, blue curtains keep the shine far away. Blue, blue curtains won't let me escape. The walls close in, shadows stretch along. Night wears a mask where dreams don't belong. A bird once sang, now silent it lies. The sky holds no stars, just clouded sighs. The pain's a prison, the glass cuts deep, eyes wide open, yet I can't sleep. Blue, blue curtains are hiding all my pain. Blue, blue curtains are dancing in the rain. Blue, blue curtains keep the shine far away. Blue, blue curtains won't let me escape. Oh, if I could tell. Yeah. Yeah. Rights on the tongue, she don't bend, don't break. First I'm in the fire, make no mistake. Lights up, hot mic, red telly, she's on. We got crystals blazing and she's already gone. Puff, puff, to the dome. Puff, puff, to the dome. From Erica to the buffer zone. Puff, puff, to a dome. Puff, puff, to a dome. It's Erica, queen of the buffer zone. The buffer zone. The buffer zone. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She cuts through the spin like a blade through a thread. They dodge, she advances, stays 3 moves ahead. Every word measured, every side I known. Tried to box her in, she redraws the whole zone. Puff, puff, to the dome. Puff, puff, to the dome. From Erica to the buffer zone. Puff, puff, to a dome. Puff, puff, to a dome. It's Erica, queen of the buffer zone. The buffer zone. The buffer zone.
Man, hold up, wait a minute. Let me put some pretty kooky in it, man. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Right? Buffer Zone, Erica, another one. Right? So, what I want to do is, I'm going to see, we're going to get through a little bit of this. I don't know, because, no people, I understand. Definitely do. Definitely understand. But I do. And I appreciate everybody, man. Look, it's love, right? You understand me? And I want y'all to know that. Man, we're going to be on. This is a lot of. Just hope everybody continue to tune in and watch. Right? To just spice the channel up a little bit, right? Because as you know, it's stories, you want to talk about, but you just can't touch it. And that's how I am with this one. I can't touch it. The Kelsey case, I don't want to touch it. It ain't that I can't, I don't want to, right? But it's a bunch of other stories out here. And I'm going to make sure I get on it. Let's see what's popping for just a little bit.
All right, you guys, this is, Baron Coleman often says on his show that it's a high IQ outfit. You can't watch Baron Coleman's show unless you're high IQ. I have to extend that to tonight's show. You need notebooks. This is an AP class. This is now advanced placement, okay? It's advanced placement, Candace's podcast. So one of the things that I have been perpetually haunted by, and I've explained this to you many times, is that final phone call that Charlie had with Bibi Netanyahu, the one that took place in the Hamptons, the one that nobody, while they were offering these long-winded tweets explaining that we didn't do nothing, tweets that were overseen by lawyers and PR agents, no one wanted to address Bibi Netanyahu's call. Charlie described it, as I told you, as an intervention over the topic of Israel. Bibi offered, as I said, to take Turning Point to the next level. And what troubles me is not knowing the answer in exchange for what. I mean, how much money would it take to bring an organization that is already pulling in $100 million per year to the next level? And also, where was this money going to come from? How are they going to generate that sort of an income? How could they know they were going to make that kind of money? I have an idea that it may have been guaranteed from war profiteering, war in Iran, particularly the issue that Bibi and Charlie were butting heads about. War, as I told you a couple of days ago, is a big business, not just a big business, the biggest business on earth. And it's also a overtly political business. Next thing we know, Charlie is dead. Turning Point USA is trying to twist and reimagine his legacy as pro-war in the Middle East, war in Iran, and Bibi is doing the most, right? Bibi is doing the rounds saying, I didn't kill him immediately, when no one initially thought that he killed him until he said he didn't kill him. Then we thought, did you kill him? It wasn't me, he said. But of course, as we thought further, I couldn't establish a connection between Bibi Netanyahu and Utah, right? Israel and Utah. Even though, as I began prodding the narrative of the Egyptian plains, it was revealed to me that there clearly is a connection to Israel and Utah. But why? How is this working? What's Bibi got to do with Provo? Does he have anything to do with Provo? Something was clearly missing. And then that's something for me to overstate to you just how close Bibi Netanyahu.
Well, a person might not like this person, but it's crazy to say that if you like her, you're an idiot. This is a very intelligent woman. Whether you agree or disagree with her, very intelligent, like intelligence.
Who is to Mitt Romney. Yeah, that Mitt Romney. the former senator of Utah, the one-time presidential nominee who ran against Barack Obama, the co-founder and the former CEO of Bain Capital. I mean, frankly, if I wanted to, I could do an entire series on his 50-year friendship with Bibi Netanyahu, their intense political support for one another, counseling to one another, a friendship which began, like I told you, back in 1976, when they were both working for the Boston Consulting Group. I mean, look, I'll just show you this quickly. This article in the New York Times back in 2012 says a friendship dating to 1976 resonates in 2012. And that is about, and it goes in and you should read it, about their remarkable friendship. Now, let's just keep that there. I want you to park that in the back of your mind. Romneys are a very powerful family in Utah. And I want you to park that information in the back of your mind, A, because I just can't believe I forgot it. It was somewhere, somewhere in a database, but it just kind of evaded me for a bit. But as we go forward, this information is going to become increasingly relevant as we revisit various aspects regarding certain individuals on September 10th that we had mentioned. Let's at first go back to the hospital, okay? I'm told actually it's pronounced Timpanogos, okay? Timpanogos Hospital. It's always been very strange to me, the setting. Increasingly strange to me that we have no eyewitnesses inside of the hospital regarding September 10th. I mean, just randos that should be in the ER lobby, right? All the Turning Point, the staff that was there that day went over to the lobby. Not everybody went.
Nobody in the hospital, no witnesses. What is this? I'm just asking for a friend.
But they were there, right? We're talking about an emergency room. People go there all the time. Your kid breaks out. Everyone's racing in the emergency room. I'm not saying it needs to be like totally packed, but I'm saying there should just be a few strays hanging around that can tell me something about it. And as I reflect 6 months later, it's almost as if the emergency room had been completely cleared for Turning Point USA. We'll never know, of course, because when Kash Patel arrived, he had the FBI immediately seize the footage from inside the hospital. What a bizarre priority, right?
Oh, wait. Immediately? Oh, wait. What is this?
Makes no sense. You got a manhunt. Why would you grab footage before Charlie was brought inside? I think if I was on Tyler Robinson's defense, I would probably want that footage. Yeah, I'd say you have that. I'd like to see it. Anyway, journalist Elizabeth Lane, that's the one who has been positing that Erica Kirk is a psychopath. She did another long post the other day on X, and she was actually a journalist that was on the ground that day. She went to Utah Valley Hospital, and she sent her colleague over to Timpanogos, and they were just staging outside, waiting for something to happen. And she was sort of remarking about how odd it was that they had locked down both hospitals, something that I brought up to you, right? They locked down both hospitals. The excuse that was given to the public was because the shooter was going from hospital to hospital looking for treatment. But you know what? That's never actually been clarified. Who exactly were they referring to? What we do know is that shortly after that came over, the police scanner, might be going from hospital to hospital, they moved to detain a young man named Zachariah Qureshi. We almost forget, but it was after Zachariah was detained that Kash Patel rather gloriously issued a tweet which effectively ended the manhunt prematurely. In many ways, we should start to think of Zachariah Qureshi as decoy boy number 2. Okay, first it was George Zinn, jumped up and down immediately and said, I did it. He would later tell people at Utah Valley, where he was being treated, that he was paid to do that. Wonder if the FBI is interested in that tidbit that I have said on the show. And I'm telling you that's what happened. That was the first time that the responding police officers who said they felt like they were intentionally being sent all around were sent essentially off of the trail of the true assassin. But next came the public declaration from our director of the FBI, which held a lot more weight, claiming officially that they had the guy. He wrote this at 4:21 p.m. Mountain Standard, so almost exactly 4 hours to the minute that Charlie was shot. Kash Patel authored this tweet. The subject for the horrific shooting today that took the life of Charlie Kirk is now in custody. Thank you to the local and state authorities in Utah for your partnership with the FBI. We will provide updates when able. Okay. Well, you imagine if you are a responding police officer and you see that the director of FBI has tweeted that, you just stop looking. Anything that looks shady, you don't care. Doesn't matter. I guess it's over. We got him. Great news. And that's how it stayed for an hour and a half. Kash Patel's mistake provided the true assassin or the assassins an hour and a half buffer to get away. Police wrapping up. No reason to continue looking, right? Until finally at 5:59 p.m., he announced on X that, Never mind. Here's what he said. Enforcement. Our investigation continues, and we will continue to release information in interest of transparency. Well done, Cash. Well done. Again, no further information was provided as to why this particular individual was detained in the first place. Who is this guy? Who is Zachariah Qureshi? I wondered. Also, is there any chance, I know, it's crazy, but is there any chance there's going to be another military connection? Well, apparently I'm a little late to the party because I was talking to Baron Coleman this weekend, and he's like, yeah, I did an episode on Zachariah Qureshi. You should check that out. And I would say this to you guys that you're not going to believe this, but you probably will. You probably will actually believe this. Zach's father, Zachariah's father, is actually an 06 in the military. You remember that term. I was getting familiar with it. I fumbled over my words. Mitch Snow, he said he saw this meeting conclude with a bunch of 05s and 06s coming out of Fort Huachuca. Well, Ahmed Qureshi, that is Zachariah's father, he is an 06 in the Navy. That means he's a commanding officer. That's the equivalent to a colonel in the Air Force. He has extensive ties to the Middle East as well, I might add. You might have gathered that from his name. But let's take a look at Ahmed's LinkedIn because it is relevant. Again, this is Decoy Boy number 2's dad. Okay, let's check this out. It lists Ahmed first and foremost, as you can see here, as the president and COO of Built Incorporated, which is based in Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. I just want to honorably mention here that Texas seems to be a very common theme in this investigation. I think by now we all suspect, given the planes traveling that day, also the planes the day before from Fort Huachuca, that there may be...
Oh, shit. Texas. What the fuck? Oh, my. Oh, help me.
Texas play in Charlie Kirk's assassination, just like there was a Texas play in JFK's assassination, I might add. CIA ran that operation out of Texas. Anyway, what does Built Incorporated do? That's interesting, right? It tells us that the award-winning Built app provides 3D interactive and XR immersive intelligent instructions that are voice and text guided. Beginning with a product overview, Built includes tools that are required, parts included, and gently directs the 3D and immersive that can be used. Okay, so what does that mean? 26 plus years in the military. Again, Ahmed Qureshi is currently a commanding officer in the military. We can see that by clicking through to his profile. He's an 06, which means he's not a small cheese, okay? Right there on his profile, it lets us know that he is the commanding officer, the headquarters of the East Coast. I don't know what the RC stands for, continental U.S. It tells us he's a captain and that he, it has all the dates here from May 2024 to present. You can see he's been 06 for a while. Previously, he was an 05. Now, since the military is not a past life, but a current life for Ahmed, we can assume that whatever he's doing for Built does not conflict with his job in the military. In fact, we can further assume that Built is somehow related to his job. And Ahmed co-founded Built back in 2015 when he was full-time as an 05. So Built's been a company for a decade. And you should know that this company receives funding from the Department of Defense, okay? Contracts from the Department of Defense. And curiously enough, Built received a large injection of cash, over $7 million, to be more exact, at a very interesting time. And I'm going to let Baron Coleman explain to you their curious pattern of federal funding that came in for Built from its inception to today. Take a listen.
This is the company that Zachariah Qureshi's father works for. This is Built. I'm getting this directly off of USA Spending, right? USA Spending has all the federal expenditures that they can legally put up here or on here. The contract. This is Built. They get their first little contract is a $50,000 contract way back in 2019. 2019, they just get a little $50,000 contract, got a 3-month pop period of performance, just 3 months, $50,000, but it gets them going, right? They're off the ground running. Then they get this next contract here, $1 million. This 2020. So after that, we're going to show you here the timeline just because it'll get you there. After 2020, we've got a series of contracts here that frankly just aren't that big. I mean, they're big. They're big for like a single family income, but if you're trying to run a business, they're not huge. We've got 185,000. We've got 49,000. But we get this big $3.1 million contract way back in 2020. And then we got just a series over the next few years of smaller contracts. Just a little 1 million, but again, nothing major, nothing crazy. Until this one, boom, 4.9, 2.4. Well, when the hell were these contracts? When were these contracts? I'll tell you what, I'll be really suspicious if these contracts were in the planning phases of the Charlie Kirk event at Utah Valley University. Beginning to be planned around June, estimated, based on our investigation, started around March or April and really heated up in June and July. So when were these massive $7.5 million worth of contracts on a company who had not had much more than one single contract of any value in the previous 4 or 5 years? When was this one? Let's look here. It's these, I'll make it the top 2 lines. Let's look together and see when these 2 contracts were. Up June 1 and June 16 of 2025.
Ooh.
June 1 and June 16 of 2025.
Oh, wait.
And also the top one as well. I can show you here on the website that he.
Oh, wait. Like I said, I don't know. I'm watching. Right? I know what they've been saying, but do y'all see all this information that's coming out now? Oh, my. Oh, wait.
The Built was awarded that money from the Department of Defense, particularly from the Air Force. The majority came in from the Air Force, 7.4 million from the Air Force and just under $250,000 from the Navy, bringing the total actually closer to $8 million that came in to them in June of this year. And so to get even more interesting. This is me building on, because Ahmed, remember, Zachariah's dad, he's listed as of this intelligence app that got a nice injection of cash from the Air Force in June. That was a man named Nathan Henderson. And don't worry, guys, I, of course, will have a graphic for you at the end so you can screenshot and save it and study it, and it will look really clean because it's very significant that you know these names. Because when I learned that Nathan Henderson was co-founder, I only realized that there was a weird crossover. Because I had looked into Zachariah Qureshi, and I remembered the name Nathan Henderson living in the same house as him. Like they were all living in the same house down in Keller, Texas. Both the Henderson family and the Qureshi family. Now, it's possible the business owned the company, vacation rent, I don't know. They do live in Texas. It's also possible maybe the Hendersons sold the house to the Quereshis or vice versa. But what is not up for debate is that both families were living in the same house down in Keller, Texas. And that Nathan Henderson, the co-founder, is married to a woman named Gina Romney. Okay? Gina Romney Henderson is relevant because she too works at the Built Corporation. She's the vice president of their user experience. You can see that here on her LinkedIn. And they also have a son, a young man named Connor Henderson. Connor went to the same school at the same time as Zachariah Qureshi. So their sons go to school together. Also sent their sons to the same school at the same time, BYU. Okay, they graduated within a year of one another. And their sons both interned at the Built company. Now, my suspicion is that Connor and Zachariah probably know each other, and you're never going to guess where Connor was working this summer, right? Connor had been working as an emergency room department scribe. I can confirm. Go ahead. Timpanogos emergency room. Okay, now, in case you are unaware of what an emergency room scribe does, they are essentially the physician's personal assistant in charge of taking notes and handling the charting and clerical work for the doctors in that emergency setting. That was Connor's job from 2024 until, and that's only if his LinkedIn is to be believed, just before Charlie's assassination, or maybe even just after Charlie's assassination. I'm wondering if he actually quit on September 10th. I'm wondering if he was working beneath Dr. Lee Trotter. It's a lead that should be pursued. Anyway, it's time to show you guys a nice, clean chart since we are...
They say if you believe what she say, then you're what they say, what they call or something. But if she ain't lining this up, right? To where it makes sense to where, like, hold up, let me look into that. The Romneys is connected to Utah, powerful family. Oh, she married to this dude in Keller, Texas. Oh, both of them families lived in that house. Oh, the son worked at the hospital. Oh, now he don't work there. What is this? Ooh-wee.
Pulling together a lot of new names. It will help you visually see these connections to the Built Corporation, Built Incorporated, pardon. So you can see this also. I should mention Gina Romney also went to BYU. BYU keeps coming up, and I'm about to drop some bombshells for you about BYU's connection to Israel in particular. Anyways, do you know what regarding Miss Gina Romney? I have to tell you guys, that is the third time in this investigation that the Romney name has come up. I hadn't spoken about it before because I just thought, well, it's the Romney family. They're big in Utah. That's not that weird, until I realized how close Mitt Romney was to Bibi Netanyahu. And I just found myself wondering, if they talked about Charlie at all. After he was really frustrated with Charlie over the Iran war, I found myself wondering. And then I realized that all of these connections to the Romney, I should probably share with you. And this very weird connection to BYU in particular. You're going to be shocked at what I learned about BYU. And I'm not going to say allegedly in this next portion because I know it for a fact. We're going to talk about the CIA and what they have to do with that Utah University when we get back from a brief break. All right, you guys, thanks to you, last year, Preborn helped to rescue over 80,000 babies. And today,
Oh, my bad, son. Oh, wait.
you can help save even more. Every single day, thousands of women hear the same devastating lie that abortion is their only option, that they're alone, that there's no hope. But everything changes the moment a mother that's in crisis walks into a Preborn network clinic and she sees her baby on ultrasound and hears her baby's heartbeat for the first time. That one moment doubles her chance of choosing life because she realizes that there's natural life that's growing inside of her. And it's not a problem that needs to be solved, but a human that needs to be protected. So let's be there for her in that beautiful moment with love, prayer, and support. For just $28, you can provide one life-saving ultrasound, and $140 provides 5 ultrasounds and 5 chances, therefore, for life. This year, let's make it the biggest baby-saving year in history. Take a stand, be bold, speak for those who cannot speak for themselves. To donate, dial pound 250 and say the keyword baby, or visit preborn.com/Candace. Again, that's preborn.com/Candace. I also want to remind you guys about Field of Greens, because way before the food industry failed us and started making low quality foods and hiding behind nutrition labels, one thing was always check out fieldofgreens.com. Field of Greens is 100% organic fruits and vegetables, started dehydrated and ground into a fine powder. Every ingredient was selected to support your most important organs in your body, like your liver, kidneys, heart, and lungs. This is the easiest health upgrade that you can make. One scoop a day and you will feel the difference. Field of Greens promises your doctor will notice your improved health, or you'll get your money back. Get 20% off with promo code Candace at checkout when you visit fieldofgreens.com today. Again, that's fieldofgreens.com with promo code Candace at checkout. I see a lot of you guys in the chat noting that Tyler Robinson looks a lot like Connor. That was something that Baron pointed out, and people that watched this episode have pointed out as well. I'm just showing you factual pictures of the players, and I will leave it at the facts. Now, a fact is that the Romneys are an exceedingly powerful family in Utah, okay? I am talking generational power. Romney grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth, extraordinary amount of wealth. Everybody knows that. You speak to any person that lives in hell. There was a Mormon colony that moved down there. And yeah, just put that in the back of your mind. Like I said, the Romney names come up in my research a few times, just like Texas was coming up in my research a few times. And so we have the Koreshis, the Hendersons that are coming out of Texas. Our planes are coming out of Texas. So did, I should mention, and here's where it gets interesting, our brand spanking new CEO of Timpanogos. Don't think I forgot about Andrew Zenger. Remember, he was appointed the CEO of Timpanogos just ahead of Charlie's assassination. It was August 19th. And curiously enough, before that, he was down in Texas. He had previously been working down in McKinney, Texas, as the COO of Medical City, which is north of Dallas. Oh, everyone just, I know Texas is big, but man, yanked and brought back up there. Yeah, that's what they did. Just like I said, 10 of September 10th. Now, of course, Andrew Zenger, just like Koreshi and Henderson and our Gina Romney, he attended BYU. And it really made me wonder, like, what the heck goes on at BYU? And fortunately, someone told me. Again, I am not saying allegedly here. So you can take this to the bank. BYU has direct ties to the CIA. They recruit directly from BYU. And I am saying this with 100% certainty. It is not a conspiracy. And what is even more odd is that they recruit specifically from BYU Jerusalem in Israel, which is
now listen. Now listen. Now listen. I know people, may not appreciate a side of the view if you just don't believe a person, right? You know, but what she's saying right now, look at all these connections she's making, right? Right? I don't know what's going to come out of this. But I know she said, I'm not going to say this as allegedly. She said, I'm going to say this as a fact. And then when she said, you could take it to the bank. Oh, wait.
Exactly where Andrew Zenger attended school. He lived in Jerusalem, and I'm now going to tell you that BYU, the Jerusalem Center, this person told me, is where the elite of the Mormon culture, the cream of the pie, they get introduced to one another. It's where the elite Mormon youth are introduced to also the Knesset, okay? Hollywood culture, political culture, and where many of them are then approached in Jerusalem, Israel, by their teachers, who I should mention, the director of the program is Israeli, to work for the CIA. Could you imagine being approached to work for the CIA in Jerusalem by Israelis?
Oh, wait.
Notice, again, I am not saying allegedly here. I know this for a fact. I cannot be sued for this. This is factual. Andrew Zenger was out there, and he was out there, I should mention, during Mitt Romney presidential election season. He's also good friends with a guy named Jeffrey Knuckles, who was out there as well, who later served as an advisor to the Romney campaign. He was also friendly, and a person that was out there was a guy named Caleb Cunningham, who was also an activist that worked for the campaign. Him, Caleb, and his brother were actually out there in Jerusalem. I want to, again, make it clear, I am not shooting in the dark with this. In fact, I can tell you specifically what the name is of the company that the CIA uses to bring some of this youth talent on board. They specifically use a company, and this will trigger them if they're watching, called Metro One Talent. Metro.
Ooh. Ooh. Listen, you know, she said she's not saying this allegedly. She said she's saying this is a fact. She said she can't be sued for this. She said, so you could take it to the bank, right? And this ain't no small entity of a lady that we're talking about, right? She big time, right? You know, are you going to say something about her when she get millions of views per video? What is this? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? She said they're not going to like this, and I'm going to say this as a fact.
One talent. That's how they interview their talent and set them on the path to joining the CIA. Now, there's one more person who is tied to this clan. It's very strange. Why are we recruiting? The question is, was Andrew Zenger recruited? Okay, was Andrew Zenger recruited? I am telling you that his roommates were. He's got a roommate who did contract work, went on to do contract work for the CIA as well. For the CIA's Department of Education. I didn't even know the CIA had a Department of Education. I actually want to find that person's name just so you understand. I have this as an absolute fact. What was this guy's name? They always switch it with his grandfather. I want to make sure. Pull this guy's name up. Who was?
Talking about doing your research. You talking about dotting your I's and crossing your T's. Hold up.
Andrew Zenger's roommate who went on to work for the CIA. Yes, Michael Sean Covey. That is correct. Sorry, Michael, to put you on blast, but yeah, he contracts with the CIA. It's very interesting. And he, I think, writes books. It's very interesting to tangle. So you're rooming together. Is it a fair question? Is it a fair question to ask if Andrew Zenger was like his roommates over in Jerusalem, recruited to work contractually for the CIA? It's interesting. Now, there is one more person who is tied to the Romney clan who also went to BYU, and we brought him up very early in the investigation. He was one of the first people that I put an APB out for because he was bizarrely standing alongside Shane Lyman. Remember, we learned like Bill Lyman's whole family owned that block. You know, the cameras of people walking, they were all tied to Caldera Engineering, walking down the block. I don't even think that's Tyler Robinson. Looks to me much more like Lance. And Bill Lyman's nephew and or cousin, Phil Lyman says it's a cousin, Shaner says he's a nephew, but he and some friends uniquely traced the steps of the killer and showed people, this is the footprint. This is, look, he was here. This was on our property that this happened. Let's see those Instagram posts to jog your memory. Remember, Robbie Hild. And I said, he's got way, he looks, the guy all the way to the right there looks way more to me like the build of the person coming up the stairs. That was the episode that we did. Who are these people? We asked. Why is Robbie Hild, and why are they posting like they have exclusive access? What are the chances that this happened? Look, the footprint. That footprint is mentioned in the document yesterday. The footprint. It wouldn't be hard to make a footprint. You just take someone's shoe and do that. Anyways, like I said early on, I put on that APB. I put out that APB for Robbie Hild because we couldn't find his name at the time, and then we did. And I learned from viewers at home that his family is allegedly married into the Romney family. Okay? Now, I cannot find a document where I put this together and put all in the information of how Robbie Hild was married into the Romney family. I know across social media they were involved, the campaign. I need to now reestablish that connection. So I will again, because it seems I accidentally deleted that email. If you know how the Hild family is related to the Romney family, please email us at moretips@candaceowens.com, because that would be a stunning connection. Like I said, my memory serves me correctly that there was a connection between these two families that was established early. He also went to B1T, and I will leave it at that. But the investigation into Robbie Hild is now open again. Now, I'm going to transition here because there's so much more that I have learned about how the CIA is paying these people, how they are approaching these people. You're not going to believe me, but the Sears company is also involved. And like I said, some people who are in the deep state are freaking out right now. They're freaking out because I've said Metro One Talent, I'm bringing up Sears, and I'm not saying allegedly. Like I said, I'm not saying allegedly. Someone has come forward.
I'm not saying allegedly. She said you could take it to the bank. It ain't me, it's her. I'm listening. I'm soaking all of this in. Because I know what they were shooting at us for us to soak in. So I'm soaking all of this new stuff in. Just like we soaked the other stuff in.
With proof of that, and you can take all this information to the bank. But it's interesting that so many Romney campaign people during the time that his campaign was going on, this is like 2011 when Andrew Zanger's there and you've got advisors and all these people, are stationed in Jerusalem. Was Bibi helping his friend? He certainly supported his friend. It's 50 years. Like brothers, I imagine. Anyway, yesterday, to add, and this is going to be an ongoing investigation. This is part of the reason why we're going to do next week off. I told you we'll be taking 6 weeks on and 1 week off because this stuff requires so much research and investigation, and the team just needs to rest and receive emails. But I do want to mention one more thing to you about this obvious patsy set up with Tyler Robinson. Yesterday, we had mentioned to you that the FBI is bringing back Robinson's weapon to the alleged bullet that was used to kill Charlie Kirk. I forgot to tell you, however, that when they first began that technique, you're never going to guess when they started that technique, which ended up being flawed and unscientific. Check out this headline in the Washington Post from 2007. FBI's forensic test is full of holes. The article goes on to say the science, which is known as comparative bullet-lead analysis, was first used after President John F. Kennedy's assassination in 1963. The technique used chemistry to link crime scene bullets to ones that were possessed by suspects on the theory that each batch of lead had a unique elemental makeup. In 2004, however, the nation's most prestigious scientific body concluded that variations in the manufacturing process rendered the FBI's testimony about the science unreliable and potentially misleading. Specifically, the National Academy of Sciences said that decades of FBI statements to jurors linking a particular bullet to those found in a suspect's gun or cartridge box were so...
Hold up. They bringing back this test that was considered flawed right after John F. Kennedy situation. For this case, and it was considered flawed. Oh, wait. that make you say,
Under the federal rules of evidence. A year later, the Bureau abandoned the analysis. So the FBI came up with their own chemistry because they needed to match a bullet in the JFK case. Oh my gosh, it's just so amazing. It's amazing that they're bringing that back because Charlie is just lucky, I guess. Lucky that they're getting back into chemistry. Flawed technique. We're going to use it. Don't worry. The ATF says it's inconclusive, which is the best they could do. But we needed to do this in 63, and we're going to do it again. And kind of maybe all the same players are involved because we all know who killed JFK. And it wasn't Lee Oswald Harvey. And a flawed analysis. And we're going to keep speaking about that flawed analysis that the FBI is now going to try to use because it's ridiculous. They know Tyler Robinson didn't do it. Now, Robinson is also a last name, and that's why we will be taking a week off next week, is a last name that the Romney family is married into. Doesn't necessarily mean there was a tie. It's just interesting. Certainly, the Hild family is married into the Robinsons as well. And so we need to become pretty much genealogists and trace everything and all of the connections. And I certainly know, I recall that the Farnsworth family, which also has a ton of the Terrell Farnsworth take down the camera family, similarly was a part of sort of the Mormon tribe that went down to Chihuahua, Mexico, because polygamy was illegalized and the backstory is legalized in the United States. And so they said, fine, we'll go start our own colony in Mexico, Chihuahua, Mexico. And that's where they went. And I know the Farnsworth family and the Romney family were part of the families that went down there. And so I need to do a lot of research now with a little more focus on these family ties. Family ties that could potentially matter in a really.
oh, wait. And this is the thing, right? She did the show today, right? And you know, as smart as she is, right? She's not gonna say she gonna do this if she ain't already doing it already, right? Sucking up this information because this will be giving them a heads up, right? Ooh wee.
Big way. Really makes you wonder what, you know, when I said that war is a massive industry and that Charlie stepped on people's toes who trade on war, who do real estate deals before the wars even start. When Charlie put his foot down and said to Trump, do not go to war with Iran, how many players were involved? How many private equity firms wanted Charlie gone? Again, that's a rhetorical question, but I'm interested. And this provides us with a new angle. And like I said, the Egyptian planes kept telling me the story that every time there was like a kerfluffle in Israel, a little war, people are bombing Israel, suddenly these Egyptian planes were carrying someone from Israel to Provo. And my sense was, this is Bibi. This is Bibi hiding in Provo. But I was like, what? Who does Bibi know in Provo? Why would he be in Utah? Again, we will show you all of that. I've been very meticulous about this Egyptian plane spreadsheet. And now this is locking in. He's got a friend. He's got a friend in Utah. If it is Bibi, I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying there's a lot of evidence that these planes are in sync with the pattern of when there's bombing campaigns happening toward Israel. Got to get the number one guy out of there. You'd be pretty safe in Provo. They've got a whole underground city in Provo. More on that later. But I wanted to introduce these themes to you because I think they are stunning and I think they are relevant, and I do believe that they mean something. These ties mean something. They don't mean nothing, at least. We'll be right back after a brief break. All right, you guys, what if the reason that you are feeling off some days has to do with what's missing from your nutrition? Between work, family, and everything in between. It's not always easy to get enough fruits and vegetables. A balance nature makes that very simple by using
I can say what they want to say about
whole
her.
ingredients and an easy daily routine. When you eat whole foods, you take in their phytonutrients.
She does her homework.
Just prepare and respond every single day. Balance of Nature takes produce.
Is she right or not?
If you've been thinking about giving them a try, a great place to start is with their whole health system bundle that includes their fruit and veggies and their supplements, which contains 47 ingredients of whole food. Save over 30% when you subscribe at balanceofnature.com. Hundreds of thousands of customers in one simple routine.
1 week out.
Again, that's balanceofnature.com. Also want to remind you guys about Paleo Valley because I'm always looking for snacks and supplements that are made with real ingredients. Nothing weird, things artificial. That's why I'm loving Paleo Valley. Recently, my manager has been nonstop speaking about their terrible bone broth protein powder. She puts it in her coffee every single morning, and she swears it tastes like a fancy coffee shop drink. So of course I had to try it, and she was right. It blends so smoothly. It adds a rich salted caramel flavor, and you're getting protein as well, which is made from grass-fed bone broth. So it actually supports your skin, your joints, and your gut while you sip your coffee. It feels indulgent, but it's packed with the good stuff. Paleo Valley offers their bone broth protein in a variety of flavors from our favorite of these.
And that's what I'm looking at now. You know, looking to study all these people right here, right? So do my own research, quote them, right? Because I'm interested in a lot of stuff, right? interested in a lot of stuff, right? And it just made me understand how interested I was in other stuff when a Kelsey situation happened, well, you know. And, you know, like, so, yeah.
Salted caramel to savory, original vanilla chocolate, turmeric ginger, and unflavored. So upgrade your protein and your snacks with cleaner, whole food ingredients from Paleo Valley and feel the difference that real food makes. Right now, you can get 20% off your first order at paleovalley.com, and you can use code Candace at checkout. Again, that's paleovalley.com, promo code Candace at checkout. Special shout out goes to President Donald Trump, who today had their little Easter celebration. Erica Kirk was in attendance, and he suggested, oh, he didn't suggest, he told her he should sue people that are making fun of her, you know, how far they fall. He's like fully Jewish now, I think, you know, like he's just like, it's all of the Israelis, sue if your feelings are hurt, sue.
I appreciate that pretty cookie, you know, because when I touched on that, you know, it was crazy. But I see other people touch on it at the same minute, so I just say, okay, all right, I see how this is going. So let me just start exploring other stuff to look into too, because I really enjoy this, right? And I don't want a display of it just coming at me, you know, when everybody else got an opinion too. As you know, it is what it is. You know, you got to play your big boy shoes, but there's other stuff I want to explore too, which I ain't gonna have no feelings about or what anybody say.
Sue. Let's watch that clip of what Trump said. Take a listen.
I'm delighted to join the countless Christians across the country and around the world as we prepare to celebrate a thing called Happy Easter. Do we have that? Everyone happy? Anybody that doesn't want on? Hello, darling. Wow, this is a good table. I like that table. You're doing well, right? Okay. I think you should sue him, but you know, I told her, you ought to sue somebody. They're so jealous of Erica. I said, you ought to sue them. I can say you're not allowed to say this. You have to be nicer. Sue their ass off. But I want to thank all of those who are helping us honor Holy Week here.
What a way to honor Holy Week. Sue them. Sue them. Everybody just jealous of you. It's like there's something that's just so middle school about this. It's no, we want to know who killed Charlie Kirk. So could you park aside the lawyers and get information for us, Trump? No, you can't do that, can you? Right? You obviously can't do that. You know, if you're going to sue somebody, maybe people that are in the Epstein files, a good reason to sue is like getting away with raping kids for decades and protecting them because of who they are. Yeah, maybe somebody, the 33 Club should be sued. You're going to sue Drewski. You're going to sue us for knowing that they're lying about everything, for keeping track of their lies. By the way, I would like to keep reminding you that most of us welcome a lawsuit because then they would be required to give us the information that we're asking for. That would be great. It would be required to provide the information so there's no more guessing. We don't have to guess. We can demand. We can do exactly what Tyler Robinson's defense is doing, saying, how did you get this technology? We'd like to see the literal receipts. What was the chain of custody? The reason you should never sue, which is just some advice, is if truth is not on your side, because it will come out eventually. It'll be painstaking. Because the easiest thing to do, if truth is on your side, is just answer the questions. Hand your phones over. Do a long sit down, right? Publicly, do it for the public. And they're not going to do that, right? It's just, we're powerful. We have money. Scott can issue letters on the spot and say they're great. Look, we are at the White House celebrating Easter. That's power. There is no true power without truth. And that's what they're learning. This is the lesson that they're learning. It is just a figment of your imagination if you don't have truth on your side. It's an illusion. And it's very easy to cut through that illusion with truth. And so they're mad. They're big mad. Anyway, you guys, if you would like to support our show, we have new merch on the website. I want to tell you guys, the CIA tumblers, I forgot who commented. Will be restocked on April 13th, so that's good news. You can also get a hard copy autograph bundle, now available from top comments from last episode. Mark Wilding wrote, this is regarding Farnsworth, where the guy taking a chair from a crime scene to stand on to mess around with the camera, also part of a crime scene, that a man was murdered in moments before, was the first moment that I realized that effery was afoot. Yeah, and I'll tell you, we never really switched from that foot, did we? Right? We just like, as soon as we saw that, we were like, that's weird. But maybe there's an answer for it. And then Terrell was all crazy on the phone. And I was like, no, something ain't right. That was weird. I just spoke to Erica. Why'd you speak to Erica about like the behind with his head footage? It's weird. It's like a couple days after Charlie died. There's nothing else going on. What are your guys' priorities right now? Kale Miles writes, I think they should make those 600,000 documents public. Let us sort through them. Great advice for Tyler Robinson's defense. They can get them over to Ian Carroll. He's got a website that is capable of doing that. You can release them to the public. I will promise you, we will be the army of paralegals that will go through these documents because we got some questions. Me, especially, I've got some questions. I will go through every single one of those documents you give them to me for free. You do not need to pay me. I want you to know the answers to the questions that I have that are not being answered by the Epstein class. We just sue. We just sue people who know how disgusting we are. It's just enough money. We have enough money to be deceitful. The reason we lie is because we're rich and we can. I make it okay. And you don't, peasants. Well, like I said, we have truth on our side, and that seems to be enough because you guys sound a little bit nervous. Comments regarding today's episode. Yoshi writes, who uses a photo of a grieving widow walking out on stage in her sparkle suit to a show of fireworks in a direct mail plea for more donations? Talking about Turning Point, and the CEO, Erica, apparently didn't expect to feel so shocked and disgusted opening the mail today. It's so not normal. I did hear this. They've sent some mailers around, and it's her walking out the sparklers at the funeral, I think, and people find it to be very strange. Also, somebody sent me, because like I said, I was in a haze in the day after Charlie was assassinated, but I did not realize how quickly Turning Point, like 48 hours later, sent out text messages. It was like, hi, I'm Erica, and for Charlie's legacy, please give. It was so the ick I had reading this, to switch the gears so quickly into how can we fundraise off of this. It's just dishonorable. That's what it is. Dishonorable. 007 writes, they eliminated the Ron Paul threat at Romney's 2012 convention with a fake floor vote, changing the delegate rule. 2012 is when Charlie Kirk fell in love with free markets and liberty. Ron Paul took to campuses and almost stole the party platform. Does that sound familiar? And my producer has a note that the RNC altered the convention rules to bind delegates in future elections to vote for the candidate who wins their state's primary caucus. The RNC also refused to recognize Paul's delegates from Maine. You know, it's funny because I have to go back because I wasn't in politics then. And so I'm having to remind myself of all of these scandals and what they mean and like what Bain Capital does. And aren't they kind of tied into the war profiteering system? I don't know. Again, I need to now go back and revisit all of these things, which is why next week we really want to focus on that. It feels, like I said, very relevant. I missed the friendship of Romney, Utah.
See how she coming? She ain't playing, and that's why I'm very been watching this, but I'm very interested in this and other things that's going on, right? Because man, this is crazy work. This is crazy work. We don't know whether it's true or not true. And how does everybody else who's so adamant on it, who tell you can't listen to this person or this person, right? Or nobody can tell you you can't listen to a person or who to listen to, right? Because see, in this, we're going to start exploring our angles and listening to other stuff. I'm just so intrigued. Like, this is breaking news right here. Of what's going on, right? And it's mind-boggling. And this has seriously piqued my interest, like a whole lot. Right? Like I was wanting to do it, but I didn't know when I was going to step out and do it, but it just all came together. Man. Man. Oh, we. Oh, we.
It's like his state. It's his state. If you, like I said, if you speak to people in the LDS community, they will tell you that, how powerful the Romney family is. And they're actually not well liked. I'll also add that as well. They're considered remarkably corrupt, according to.
Look, is this by coincidence? Everything we've been watching been in Utah. Jeez. Everything happening in Utah. What's going on? Oh, we.
People familiar with them. I'm not saying they are corrupt. I'm saying that they don't have a nice reputation, does not follow them, certainly. Beck Build writes, thank you, Candace, for all of your hard work. Lighten up on the F word. I could share his content more to my Christian friends. Thank you. Ian Carroll, please lighten up on the F word so that Beck Build can share his content more to his Christian friends. It's a good thing. You know, it's we're at the end of Lent here. Something you could give up. We should make, he'll do a late Lent, which we can't really do, but I could make him give that up for a month. I'm going to text him and see how he feels about it. And we'll make him like do something if he slips up. We'll make him pay. We'll sue him. Sue Ian Carroll every time he says the F word. I think that's a good idea. Ramusa writes, Dr. Stephen Jones, a physicist at BYU, published a study in 2009 proving advanced thermite-based explosives in abundance in the dust from Ground Zero on 9/11. BYU is divided. Yeah, I am certainly not saying that everyone who goes to BYU is in the CIA. I am saying they pluck from students, and their Hawaii campus, in particular, again, I'll have more information for you on this, they pull people out of the pool of Hawaii, and in Jerusalem in particular, they approach students because they are the cream of the crop of the Mormon pie that go there, and they approach them about working for the CIA. That can be in Hollywood, in movies, that can be in politics, but that actually happened, and that was happening when Andrew Zenger was over there. So it is a fair question to ask if Andrew Zenger works in some capacity or has worked with the CIA doing contract work for them. It's a fair question to ask, and I'm asking it. Libby Vargas writes, I joined the book club and I started at Chaos. The first episode gave me chills. It feels like your investigation started then. What you spoke is what you're living now. David with his sling, unaware of Goliath. God bless. Wow. I didn't even appreciate that. Yeah. When I was reading Chaos, it was like that. It's like, oh, this is what we were told with the Manson murders. This is what the narrative was. And you're like, wait, but everything did not happen that way. It's like the opposite. And then like behind this is the CIA apparatus. And this is clearly like all CIA. And it, with the purpose of socially engineering society towards some goal. And yeah, similarly here, what was the goal? To socially engineer us remarkably and ironically toward support for Israel. He died his very last breath. Shabbat Shalom, I love Israel. He had just written me this letter about how much he loved Israel. He was just about to come. He spent his whole life fighting for Israel. Don't forget that. As you march forward, don't forget how much Charlie loved Israel. That was the vibe, which made us go, something ain't right. Because they're lying. They're lying about what he was going through. He was under immense pressure, and he was done. As he wrote, as he said, he was done with the pro-Israel cause. He abandoned. You've left me no choice but to abandon the pro-Israel cause. Would have been nice if, rather than attacking Joe Kent, they...
you get powerful like that and get a big voice, right? You know, like I say, whether we know if this true or not true, but we done seen cases to where like it just don't add up, right? Oh, we
themselves came out with that information and wouldn't have to consider Joe Kent. Why didn't Andrew want to come out with that information to the public? Why didn't Erica want to assert that to the public? Like, he was actually abandoning the pro-Israel cause because my husband was under a tremendous amount of stress in the end because they were pulling money from him and they were threatening him, you know, financially, and he felt morally blackmailed by them, and they were telling him who he could speak to and who his friends could be. Could you imagine how different sentiments would be toward her if she at all ever reflected what he was going through in the last few months? Instead, we got, well, we can't question why she didn't do that. She's a grieving widow. She's forced to assume his role and reverse everything that he did, like LBJ did before JFK's death. She's forced to do that. It's brave that she's doing that. It's godly.
Think about it. Why wouldn't you be doing that? Why wouldn't that come to your mind, right? And then they say she's a grieving widow. She knew what he was going through. I mean, that makes sense, right? It could be true. She was grieving, but the other part makes sense as well.
It's inspired that she's doing that. I don't know what else to say. I think that is all for the comments that we have. Oh, I missed one. 7 Sheets wrote, here for the authenticity. Candace, along with Barron, etc., could replace the entire alphabet agencies, and I think we'd be so much better off. Sad realization, but at least the people are following truth over slop. Yeah, I totally agree. I enjoy Baron Coleman's show so much. I also enjoy Lionel Nation's show so much. I love watching these shows. And I mean, it's the research. And I think that's what separates it. Is I was saying to my team, it's like so many people have podcasts, and what they're really doing is it's really cheap form of podcasting where they're just playing a clip and reacting to it, right? We're playing a clip and reacting to it. Like, oh, I'm reacting to the Daily Mail article. Well, are you actually going to do the work and read through the documents and read the 28 pages plus the addendums and the attachments and comprehend what's happening? Or are you just going to be a commentator, like part of the commentariat, and just go, oh, this person's evil, this person's demonic, I can't stand it, this is wrong. We don't need it. I wish we could just flush it all out, and so what I appreciate about Baron and also Lionel is their experience as lawyers. They bring that to the table. There is the investigative form. It's unique. Like, he found this thing that I hadn't found that then locked in, and I'm referring to Baron here, but locked in perfectly to something that I had discovered. They were living in the same house. I didn't realize that Qureshi was this relevant to the military. We got some 06s and some 05s. I now know what that means. Military people, do I sound cool? Am I stepping my game up a little bit? Can you admit that I'm stepping my game up from the beginning when I accidentally said E3 or E2? Like, I'm learning. We're all learning together, and I'm trying to set my game up, but it separates it to be thorough and to be investigating, and also to enjoy what you do. You sense a joy in all of their shows, and Baron's show. He's very funny, and it's unfortunate if you're not high IQ, you can't watch it, but it's a good show. I'm allowed to be there. Everyone here today. We wore a high IQ outfit here today. Anyway, you guys, we will see you tomorrow, and then we're going to take a...
Oh, my. Interesting. It's a lot, like she said, we got to dig into, right? It's a lot. And I love it, though, because it's a lot that you got to dig into, right? And if I do my best, like Candace say, to dig into it, read the documents, try to get a good understanding of it, right? Because it makes sense. Like, what she's saying, when you see all these ties, right? We done heard the other side now with all this new information coming out. It's incredible. So I know a lot of people, like want to take, like come on here and say, oh, you're going to lose viewers. I don't care, right? Because my thing is to try to get newer viewers, right? They don't want to lose viewers. Yeah, it'd be messed up, but hey, just got to get over it. But I love everybody. I appreciate everybody here tonight, right? And we got a lot more of this coming. Salute, love you to death, pretty kooky. And everybody who was in here tonight. See y'all soon.
Man, y'all know how I do. Y'all know how I do. I'm on that bullshit again.
Let me tell y'all a little story about me. In the boxing world, my name is Mr. IOTBA. The acronyms for IOTBA is
Mr. Undeniable. Hold up. Mr. These boys can't touch me.
If you do, but I ain't got shit to prove. Boo does go tooth, little Bruce, smile sharp enough to choose. Bang, bang, right through your cool. Walking like a rumor with a pulse. Lip curl sweeter than your cold. My eyes say try me and you freeze like salt. Got your huggle. You wanted that smoke, I'm the whole damn stack. Got your huggle. Step up, I'll clear the room. You're a daisy if you do. You're a daisy if you do.
or
All aces in my hand, better back. Tongue sharp like a tag, hit a click clack. You wanted that heat, now it's time to meet the sun. No shade, just black. Walk slow, silver in my lap. Halo crooked heart attack. Say a piece, talk that trash. I turn every word to glass. Cut deep.
Oh shit, it's your boy Mr. Ultimate. I'm touching down from that 2, 1, 4, and I'm on that bullshit again. I'm on that bullshit today, right? Y'all know how I do. Y'all know how I do. I was scrolling up my articles, and what do I see? So see, y'all know how I do. Y'all know how I do. I must address the bullshit. RUF Truth.